I was just going to put up a sort of video of me putting this together, but in a podcast style where I talk to my friends and so on and so forth, as people seem to prefer it that way, because frankly, most of the people watching my channel know how to build a fucking computer. And I bet that's the woman bothering me. I've been sitting in silence forever. Now let somebody else bother me. I wanted to talk about this motherboard for a little bit. The Gigabyte X399 Mobo, honest to God, Newegg had a shell shocker deal where you got an X1950 16-core Threadripper CPU with this Mobo, $4,000 straight. Not too bad, providing you're not one of the people who have a litany of problems with this motherboard. I was one of them, and it's still problematic and full of software bugs and hiccups. By the way, the SLI bridge that came with it did not work. It was utter garbage. I mean, for a motherboard that's almost, what, $400? It should come with an SLI bridge that's fucking functional. My God, pathetic. And I am a Gigabyte fan, but this is just atrocious. On top of that, there are many people who had the issue of the DIMM slots not reading the RAM sticks. So a lot of people who paid for 128 gigabytes of RAM, which comes to like $1,400 almost or some crazy shit, couldn't use it. Imagine that. You spend all this money on that RAM and the Mobo's just like, no. You can only use 64 gigabytes. You can only use 6 out of 8 DIMMs. You can only use 4 out of 8. Then you got an RMA and RMA till they finally send you one that works. The quality control was horrible here. I strongly suggest anybody interested in Threadripper rating or looking into a different manufacturer, but I'm hearing many of the motherboard manufacturers are having issues. Moving on to the cables from Cable Mods, I actually like these a lot. I love the aesthetic look and style. It really brings another level to your presentation of your computer, especially if you have an acrylic case or tempered glass. You know, the only problem I've had with these is this little knot power thingy on one of the wires, and it's really ugly. And it's not exactly super flush, you know what I mean? Like some wires kind of tangle with the other one because of this, and it makes putting these little clips together on it quite an issue from Cable Mods. It comes with a couple, and you definitely gotta buy a few extra, but I'd strongly suggest investing in some other clips that aren't Cable Mod, like some metal ones, for a more cleaner look and easier to deal with, because these suckers are real hit and miss. Don't pay attention to the back of the computer. The wire management at the end looked good, but I didn't record it, believe it or not, because I got in that sort of computer building zone. And the computer building zone is when I focus 100% on the computer itself, and I don't think about recording anything. I turn off the cameras and I focus as much as possible, simply because I wanted it to look good. And I also lost all the footage on my GoPro, probably because I had to keep formatting my GoPro, that I forgot to move the files the second time around. And I needed to format it to use it as a thumb drive to install Windows 10 for the umpteenth time, because this Mobo comes with some stupid Wi-Fi drivers from Intel that sort of sabotaged the whole thing. I know, I'm showing off like the Cable Mods cable again without really having this all synced up. What else came with it? There's also a program that comes on the Mobo already initiated. I complained about it in a video, so I'll probably just put that on so people know to turn that off if they get this motherboard. But the program gives you the ability to run a virtual PC, an extra one, on your PC, which should be off by default. This leads to tons of problems with the computer installing Windows or even booting. Now I will leave something funny up.
Let's now get on that conversation.
Thanks, explain.
A lolly is a short term used for describing what is a lolicon, which is an older male that is interested in younger females, usually in the Japanese culture.
Thank you.
It is often used to describe the term of the younger female rather than the older male, but usually it's short for lolicon, meaning, well,
tasty young Asian girl. Got it.
Yes.
There we go.
Life lessons.
Life lessons in.
All right, puppy, I'm playing with you. Enjoy it. Isn't this amazing?
Dogs only need like 17 seconds of attention.
The dog gets way more than 17 seconds. I fought with it for
Just
at least a minute.
Every time you see the dog, 17 seconds, that's it. And then go do your own thing and he'll be fine.
Not this one. It never ends. I've played with this dog for an hour straight, and the second I looked at my phone, she started barking. Oh, Christmas has come early, Poopsie. I got a ball of yarn for you.
That is a bad thing for a dog to eat.
She's not supposed to eat it.
She will. She's a puppy.
Don't worry, I'm keeping all eyes on this piece of shit because if I don't, no one else will except for Smokey.
All right, and Smokey will try to eat it anyway, so.
Oh, no, Smokey could not give a quarter of a fuck less. You could douse this thing
This
in...
dog almost makes fucking Smokey sound cool.
Like, Smokey, you could douse the yarn ball in catnip. He won't fuck with it. He might slap it twice and then lay where the catnip is strongest. And that's as far as he goes for his high. Of course, Smokey's cool. He's past everything. He doesn't give a seventh of a fuck.
What if one day, well, why did I say corgi? What if one day Smokey walks out and never comes back?
Smokey won't go outside. He has a nervous breakdown.
All right, what if he's been kidnapped and you didn't know?
Who would kidnap Smokey?
I don't know. Maybe the Chinese across the street like meat.
The Chinese are about 2 blocks away. They don't know he exists.
Who knows? One day they'll see the cat and be like, oh yeah, we want the cat. And then one day Smokey will be gone. What will you do?
I go, fuck. I can't pay the ransom. They want far too much yen.
That was funny.
I have to
right.
go in there like Yakuza Kiwame.
What is this? What is this Native American doing?
Don't worry, I'll have you draw some like Yakuza tattoos on me with a Sharpie pen.
All right.
I'll trust your Asianness.
You know I'm just going to draw dicks, right?
I heard of this guy. He was biggest dick in all prison. Fuck more men than any porn star ever.
Lol.
Look, he still has cum on his face.
Jesus Christ.
And the soda's weak. Fuck my life. God fucking damn it. It's like being an alcoholic and finding out your bottle's empty. You having fun, Chuchi? Isn't this the greatest thing to ever happen today? Just the final solution is to annoy the fuck out of me.
Yeah, there's.
That was pretty good. You sound like an Enderman.
It is.
Please tell me someone recorded that.
What the fuck did you say I sounded like?
You sounded like an Enderman.
What the hell's an Enderman?
It's from Minecraft. It's a big black man that steals stuff.
Oh,
That's fucking
fantastic. Fuck you, fuck
It makes
racist
a
Minecraft.
noise. It makes a noise exactly like you just made.
Like a dog tearing into his fucking index finger?
Maybe that's how they recorded it.
Genius.
Notch went into the future and got kind of shut into the mic, and that's how he made the noises.
Fucking ungrateful dog. D-Girl said 17 seconds. I gave you 17 minutes, and this is how you were paying me.
And in some ways.
Yeah, Clanky's got
Yeah,
a point.
exactly.
This is possible, Ziltex. Have you
It is
tried?
possible. No, I know, but I mean, there's a difference between just murdering a hobo in your back alley and like, ding ding, you leveled up. All right, I want to get better at talking to chicks. All right, I'm gonna murder more hobos.
Wow, your approach to leveling up to talk to chicks was totally different than mine.
I mean, that's how you get EXP in the game. By murdering people, so like murder hobos in the back alley,
Yeah.
and then you level up, and then you like level up your speech.
Sometimes, man, I just don't know with you, dude. Sometimes I think you're a truly fucked up human being. Like there's these
you're
moments
just now
like
realizing
these.
So you want to loot or not?
You want what?
Loot? Because I still need a scope.
Yeah, me too. No, I want to get inside a bit first. You've got a close range weapon, right?
Yeah.
Go for these buildings then.
Right,
These
You
ones.
just
give
say
me-
close and short.
No, close range weapon.
I heard him close and short.
Hey, you know, I think I'm pretty normal.
Yeah.
Like, how do you know you're not the weird one?
I don't.
Not
That's
you.
how I know.
There There we go.
I have to send you a photo of Smokey's new collar. It's a business necktie.
Gundam, what if I were to send you underwear?
No.
And on the back of the underwear, it is ripe.
Definitely not.
Huh.
That sounds ripe for faggotry, if you ask me.
So, Fickle.
How's it shaking? This Ryzen build has taken, not Ryzen, what the hell is this, Threadripper? This Threadripper build has taken way longer than I ever expected it to, or ever imagined it to. Simply because, the funny thing is, there are a multitude of little gremlins, I'd like to call it. First off, with the Gigabyte Aeros X399 motherboard, unfortunately I wish I had brains enough to record me doing this beforehand. But with that board, it's like I'm a surgeon. Oh yeah. Anyway, with this motherboard, I OMMU, and could have it wrong, which is a virtual PC thing. You could create a virtual PC on your computer next to it. I don't fucking really pay attention to it because I was so pissed off at it I didn't want to learn about it. It comes on by default. So when you're installing Windows, this creates a huge issue getting the fucking OS on your computer. Yeah, I know, I shouldn't be cursing. It's supposed to be like somewhat professional, but it's actually quite aggravating to deal with that. And there's occasions where the BIOS, just sometimes the Gigabyte BIOS just decides when you turn it on, the BIOS is reset to its factory default settings. Like, what the fuck for? Doesn't even tell you. It's just like, we're doing this. And if you don't have brains enough to remember to turn off that virtual PC crap, let's go Express, I'm kind of burnt out. That virtual PC crap, then you run back into the same problem. The next issue, once you've passed that, is the driver issue. The funny thing is, the drivers that Windows 10 installs on its own, sorry, here we go, Device Manager. I've already got the network adapter. Here we go, that's the one I need. These drivers that Intel installs, you probably can't really see them. Oop, there we go. These drivers that Intel installs has an issue with the drivers Gigabyte gives you with the chipset. The chipset says you have to download and install. The chipset says you have to download and install the Intel wireless drivers and LAN driver. Even though you have these working and it's fine. But the funny thing is, once you do that, then the PC starts blue screening to death. I just don't get it. So right now, I'm on the who knows how many times I've installed Windows. Right now we're doing the NVIDIA drivers for the Titans. But anyway, we're on the Windows install thing, and the driver, blah, blah, blah. The hope is that I'm going to install everything, and then the plan is to install the wireless 1970 Pro Set 64 Windows, I probably should have zoomed in, Windows 10 drivers from Intel. Hopefully, from what I understand, this is one of the supposed ways to fix this. One. That's just one. If this doesn't work, I have to move on to two more possible fixes that are floating around the internet. And I guess the problem, being one of the first people to grab Ryzen and to pick the wrong MOBO, is you're the guinea pig. You have to figure out all the issues, and then A, you tell everybody else, or B, you're so burnt out, you say, fuck it, I don't give a shit, let everybody else suffer. We start later, I ain't fuck with this. Oh, God. Let's do the chipset. Let's see what happens if I select this one. Usually I select that one. Radeon is detecting your nuts. Please wait. You know what I don't like about this? We'll go Express install. I had to test out these ideas, and then I'll troubleshoot further if it doesn't work. What I don't like about the Intel software, the AMD software, is it looks just like the Crimson Radeon driver thingy, which throws me off. No, not doing that right now. That's the brand packaging. Let's go back. I already did the HD audio. Let's do Intel's line. Is that it? Install drivers. Whoa, 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 whoa. And software. I don't want your fucking software. Do you want to close the following application? Yes. Fucking close it. Who gives a shit? Fucking no. Thank you, bitch. Yeah, I don't want that. Don't even know what it does with some software. Cannot install drivers. No Intel R adapters are present on this computer. What? Oh, God. It's the software. The biggest issue of Ryzen right now is the software. That's the problem with this. This computer would have been up and running if the software wasn't so shit at the moment. It's really turned me off the Gigabyte. If I do a Threadripper build for myself, I probably won't get a Gigabyte board now. Even though I like Gigabyte, this has really turned me off.